Stop scrolling. Yes, you. Put the snack down for 12 minutes. You think humanity has always known what's out there. 500 years ago, if you asked the world's smartest scholar what held the planets in place, he'd look you dead in the eye and say, "Crystal spheres, pushed by angels. Now leave me alone. I have to go balance my body humors with leeches." In the last 5 centuries, a microscopic blink in cosmic time, we went from burning people at the stake for suggesting Earth moves to photographing black holes and reading the atmospheric weather of alien worlds light years away. Today, we are downloading the entire software patch notes of human space discovery, from 1526 to 2026. Before we start the timeline, I need a quick interactive check from you. Look at the ground right now. Does it feel like you're standing still? I know it does. But right now, you are spinning at 1,000 miles an hour while hurtling through the solar system at 67,000 miles per hour. How's your spatial balance holding up? First, the mandatory rules of the vessel. Fact 1. Today's data is verified by astronomers who spent their entire lives staring through glass tubes until their eyesight failed, none of whom ever got a single thank you text from humanity. Fact 2. If your brain starts melting from the sheer scale of modern astrophysics midway through this video, complementary cognitive paper towels are located virtually under your chair. Before we hit 1526, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. It signals the local planetary algorithms that you are actively trying to upgrade your intelligence. 1543 to 1610, let's jump back 500 years. The mid-1500s, everyone on Earth was 100% convinced that Earth was the center of the entire universe. Why? Because we're us, obviously. But in 1543, Nicolaus Copernicus dropped a theoretical bombshell on his deathbed. Hey guys, what if Earth is just a regular rock orbiting the sun? People were so offended by this idea that it took decades for anyone to take him seriously. Then came 1609. Enter Galileo Galilei. Galileo took a newly invented Dutch spyglass, pointed it at the night sky, and changed human history forever. He looked at Jupiter and saw 4 tiny moons orbiting it, not us. He looked at our moon and realized it wasn't a perfect heavenly orb. It had craters and mountains. Quick question for you in the comments. If you pointed a tube at the sky in 1610 and accidentally proved the entire church and scientific community dead wrong, would you brag? Or would you keep quiet to avoid house arrest? Be honest. 1687 to 1781, 1687. Sir Isaac Newton gets hit with the world's most famous existential crisis, and an apple. He publishes the Principia, mathematically proving gravity. Before Newton, people thought Earth rules and space rules were completely different. Newton proved that the exact same invisible force that pulls a dropped mug to the kitchen floor is the exact same math holding the moon in orbit. He wrote the operating code for the cosmos. Then came 1781. For all of recorded human history, people thought Saturn was the absolute edge of the solar system. But then, William and Caroline Herschel were scanning the sky with a homemade telescope and spotted a faint greenish disk. At first, William thought it was a comet. Nope, it was Uranus, the first planet discovered in modern history. Overnight, the solar system doubled in size, 1801 to 1846, 1801. Giuseppe Piazzi finds a tiny object between Mars and Jupiter named Ceres. Astronomers initially freaked out and called it a planet, but then they kept finding thousands more rocks in the exact same region. Welcome to the discovery of the asteroid belt, essentially the solar system's leftover construction site. Then came 1846, the ultimate flex of mathematical physics. Uranus was orbiting weirdly. It wasn't following Newton's math. Instead of assuming math was broken, 2 mathematicians, Leverrier and Adams, spent months doing pencil and paper calculations. They said, "There's an invisible giant planet pulling on Uranus. Point your telescope right here." They did. Boom. Neptune was discovered by math before anyone ever saw it. Imagine doing math so well that a giant blue gas planet materializes in deep space. How does that make your high school algebra test feel? 1860s to 1929. In the 1860s, scientists like William and Margaret Huggins realized something insane. If you pass starlight through a glass prism, tiny dark lines appear in the rainbow. Those lines are chemical barcodes. Suddenly, we didn't need to fly to a star to know what it was made of. We could read its light like a cosmic grocery receipt. Now, skip to 1923. Humans still thought our galaxy, the Milky Way, was the entire universe. Then Edwin Hubble looked through the massive Hooker telescope in California and realized that fuzzy blobs like Andromeda weren't gas clouds in our galaxy. They were entire, separate island universes containing billions of stars. And in 1929, Hubble dropped an even bigger bomb. Every single one of those galaxies is flying away from us. The universe isn't static. It's expanding. Let that sink in for a second. Look at the wall across from you. Imagine if you woke up tomorrow and your bedroom wall was 10 feet further away and moving faster every minute. That is what space is doing right now. How's your existential comfort level doing? 1930 to 1969, 1930. Clyde Tombaugh discovers Pluto. Everyone celebrates. The solar system gets its 9th planet, and kids write cute school reports about it. Enjoy that crown while you can, Pluto. We'll talk about 2006 in a second, October 1957. The USSR launches Sputnik 1, a metallic beach ball that did nothing except orbit Earth and go beep, beep, beep. That tiny beep kicked off the space race in 1961. Yuri Gagarin becomes the first human in space, 8 years later, July 20th, 1969. Apollo 11 lands on the moon. Pause the video mentally right now and think about this. We went from the Wright brothers flying a rickety wooden glider for 12 seconds in 1903 to putting a human being on the literal moon in 1969. That's 66 years. Some people lived long enough to watch both happen on live TV. What have we done in the last 66 years? Built app updates that change the shape of app icons. Great job, humanity. 1977 to 2006, 1977. We launched Voyager 1 and 2, carrying a golden record with human music, greetings, and instructions on how to find Earth, essentially giving aliens our home address and a mixtape. Today, Voyager 1 is over 15 billion miles away, flying in interstellar space, 1990. The Hubble Space Telescope launches. It gave us the deep field image, staring at a tiny pitch-black patch of sky for 10 days and revealing over 10,000 full galaxies, in a spot the size of a grain of sand held at arm's length. Cover a patch of sky with your thumbnail right now. Behind your thumb are millions of worlds. You're welcome for the free brain reboot, 1995. Scientists discover 51 Pegasi b, the first exoplanet orbiting a sun-like star. Now, we have to address 2006. Astronomers found Eris, an icy object bigger than Pluto. They realized if Pluto stayed a planet, hundreds of other rocks had to be planets too. So, they rewrote the definition of a planet. Pluto failed rule number 3, clearing its orbital neighborhood. Pluto was demoted to dwarf planet. Type justice for Pluto in the comments if you're still holding a grudge 20 years later. I won't judge you, but science will. 2015 to 2026. 2015. LIGO detects gravitational waves. 2 black holes collided 1.3 billion light-years away, sending literal ripples through the fabric of space and time that stretched Earth by less than the width of a single proton, 2019. The Event Horizon Telescope gives us the very first direct picture of a black hole, M87 star. A cosmic monster 6 million times more massive than our Sun, 2021 to 2026. The James Webb Space Telescope launches on Christmas Day. With its massive golden hexagonal mirrors, JWST sees an infrared light, capturing light from stars that formed right after the Big Bang over 13.5 billion years ago. JWST has detected water vapor in exoplanet atmospheres, found galaxies that shouldn't exist according to our old models, and mapped the weather on distant worlds 700 light-years away. We went from Galileo looking through a shaky 30 times glass tube in 1610 to reading the chemical rain patterns of alien planets today. When you look back at 500 years of updates, it's easy to treat this like a list of trivia facts or trophy milestones. We build bigger glass, we write smarter equations, and we put higher numbers in textbooks. But every single update on this timeline started with a human being standing under the dark, quiet sky, realizing how little they actually knew. 500 years ago, we thought Earth was the entire center of creation. 100 years ago, we thought our galaxy was the whole universe. Every time we thought we reached the edge of knowledge, the universe pulled back the curtain and showed us that we were barely standing in the hallway. We drew lines across 5 centuries of discovery and called it progress. The universe just called it human eyes finally starting to open. Tell me in the comments below. Which discovery from the last 500 years blew your mind the most? Hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and I'll see you on the next log entry closed. See you on the next ascent.